Okay, Shalom. All praises to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that pushes word in truth, sincerity. Once again, we back with the Wednesday lesson, getting into the prophecies when he give 2020. And prophecies are coming to pass left and right. We are in the third week of the month of February, which is the second month of this year. And man, it seems like all hell's about to break loose. We see the wars over there in the Middle East. We see what's going on with this coronavirus, the situation with this coronavirus. The stock market is teetering. They having secret meetings. Donald Trump held a secret meeting with the World Health Organization. Man, they come with these secret meetings and trying to find a solution to this coronavirus. Donald Trump asked Congress for $40 billion to fight this coronavirus, and now the coronavirus had hit certain people in New York City.
Actually, $7 billion.
$7 billion. I thought it was $40 billion. It was it could be either way. $7 billion, $40 billion. It's not enough, man, to combat this coronavirus, because for the simple fact, it's spread. It has been spread. First, it started in Wuhan, China, but now it's in Europe. It's in the Middle East. It's in Italy. So now Donald Trump set up these quarantine, and in San Francisco they are in a state of emergency due to the coronavirus, man. Alabama. So eventually, and now they're talking about New York City. They warning the people of America to be prepared for what? They know something that's coming down the pipe, man.
Did you mention the stocks?
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mean, hey, and for the past 2 days or 3 days, the stock market has been totally bashed, and they blame it on the coronavirus. But I mean, before the coronavirus became a pandemic, the stock market was teetering. 1 day is up, 1 day is down, 3 days is up, a week is up, then a week is down. So that's another way of them having an excuse for the stock market. Anybody got any scriptures?
Yeah. I got it.
You got one?
Come on, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
Well, that was referring to Israel at one point in time, but now them same plagues that was plaguing Pharaoh and his men in ancient Egypt is starting to plague America, and Esau and its empire. See, the head of the empire of Esau is America, but you gotta look at this too, that Esau rules in Europe too, man. So that's a part of his empire, his infrastructure of his empire, which is NATO, the EU, and America. And these places are being affected by this coronavirus to the point that people are in fear. I was watching the video with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, when he's on his campaign. He was refusing to shake people's hands. Why? Of that coronavirus fear. The coronavirus has struck in Iran. You got quarantines in Iran. You got a top government official of the Iranian government that has that so-called coronavirus. So those are the plagues that smoke Egypt, plus other plagues that's not written in the scriptures, which is the coronavirus, SARS, mad cow disease, and all the rest of these lab-created diseases that Esau is pushing out there.
Con, verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
And that's exactly what you see what's going on right now, man. All kind of plagues such as SARS, the coronavirus, cancer, AIDS. Them plagues was not mentioned in the book, man, in the Holy Scripture. But now guess what? They're cleaving unto Esau and 2/3 of Jake and certain other brothers, that may have, certain ailments, but guess what, man? When there's judgment, there's mercy. But these plagues are definitely hitting Esau and is affecting its economy. People are scared. Over in Italy, the stores, I got it right here written down, matter of fact. It says, this is in Dabu 7. the state of emergency in Italy, where the market is down, we know that, and the food and the shelves in the grocery stores are empty. No water, why? Because these people are panicking.
It's a quick precept. The second Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty."
And that's what's going on. The government officials in New York City is telling the people to prepare. Prepare for what? The Congress is telling the American people to prepare for, a pandemic.
I got a
Oh,
precept. A little more. It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid."
Yeah, man, we blowing that trumpet, man. But guess what? They're not afraid yet, until they start seeing everything we was telling them was going to come to pass, man. We've been telling y'all that it's going to be martial law, and they could very well use this coronavirus situation to do mass vaccinations, man. Because they saying that in Long Island, I think like 89 people has been affected with the coronavirus. And notice it's only in these Asian communities, man. And I was in Queens, and all you see is a bunch of Asians, they have, or more bites, and they have the mask on, like that's going to help them. And then you got simple-minded ass Jake driving around with mask on too. You in your car, man, but you got a mask on. Yo, Jake is wild, man. They don't have no faith, man. You gotta have faith, man. Okay, you got something else? You got more?
That was it.
A quick precept.
You got more?
You got, go ahead.
Yeah, get your brain.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 13, verse 8. "And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take all of them."
Read that again.
Isaiah 13, verse 8. "And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take all of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth."
And that's what's happening right now. Pangs and sorrows taking hold of these people, man. Not that's only in America, but throughout the world, man. This is Esau's kingdom. This is Esau's empire. He's in control of everything that he has superiority over all these nations, man. Because who's the top rulers, man? The international bankers, man. You have the people called the Lee family, which is a part of the Chinese
Illuminati?
Yeah, the Illuminati, the global elite. But guess what? The main ones that's ruling started with the Rockefellers. The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, man. They are the Amalekites, man. The international bankers, man. The German Jews or the Khazars that's ruling, man. Anybody got something that's it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I got some. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low."
No jobs, Food is scarce,
"And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low."
And we see that now, man. All these rappers, these singers, they dying, getting put to death, man. The grinding the seats, some about these jobs, man. You want to say something?
Yeah, you had this nigga, I don't want to give him too much, shine, but Pop Smoke, which is, a known rapper amongst especially the younger generation, all right? What happened to him? He got popped and smoked, all right? Most High is bringing judgment upon the 2/3, these celebrities that sold out, all right? That's the daughters of music being brought low. And, this music today, man, is trash, all right? This mumble rap, this drill rap.
What's called what?
Mumble rap.
Nah, not that. I know that about the mumble rap. What's that rap they call it?
Drill.
What's drill rap?
It's like promoting violence, and the beat. It's like a demonic beat to it.
They've been doing that for years, man.
Yeah.
Like trap music.
Yeah,
They've been
trap
doing that for
music.
years, because people don't know that when music brings vibrations, man. Certain music soothes your spirit. That's why the apostles, mainly Apostle Cabal, always bring out, listen to classic music, man. Because classic music soothes your spirit. If you go into the scriptures, each time King Saul was troubled by an evil spirit, in which the Most High put that evil spirit on him to trouble him. Because to tell you that in the scriptures, the Most High put the evil spirit on him, took the spirit, he said, and the Most High took the spirit, and the spirit of the Lord, somebody get that.
Saul, yeah.
Get that real quick. You got it, right? It's in Samuel chapter, 1 Samuel chapter, is in the last parts of the chapter, I think. Samuel 18, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And the spirit, but it said the spirit of the Most High departed from Saul.
I got it.
And bring it up. 1:16.
It says, this is 1 Samuel 16, verse 14. It says, but the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him.
Exactly. The Most High can put that evil spirit on you, man. Take the spirit of the Most High. Hey, case in point, man. I'm not gonna bring up too much on the situation, but you got this guy from ISUPK talk about John the Baptist. He's like a John the Baptist sell like liquor, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's total madness, man. You know, I don't want to get too much into it because it's total madness, man. It's madness, and that's exactly. And guess what? That was a demon speaking to that dude. That dude was a puppet for them spirits, man.
Blasphemous, disrespectful.
Because how you gonna? You saying that you liking him, and then you say that he's like a red squirrel. Give him some nuts. You know what I mean? Just do it. Then he's like whatever he say. John the Baptist is. That's what he is. That was that demon speaking.
Yeah, I got it right here. This is from the ISUPK online classes. Now they had a video. It's entitled "Attention, Fake Israelites." If I say John the Baptist is a plate of fried fish, herring, and hand
me some
hot sauce. Now who the fuck are you?
Tell me that. Listen. Tell me that dude is a demon, man. That dude is a total demon. You know me? If John the Baptist, he said, attention, all you fake Israelites. First of all, he called men that's out there sincere fake Israelites, and he's the one that's looking in the mirror, man. And look in the mirror. What you see in the mirror? You the fake Israelite, man. If you calling John the Baptist, which paved the way for Yahweh Shah, liking him to a plate of fish, and then say, give me some hot sauce, then you also call him, say he like a red-tailed squirrel, give him some nuts or some scotch. So those demons, them demons were speaking through you. You was the demons was the ventriloquist, you was the demon. Whether you was the demons was the ventriloquist, you was the dummy. And them demons were speaking through you. Because you was damn sure blaspheming the word of the Most High, man. Disrespectful, you know, being obnoxious, have shades on. Why? Because you know the eyes are the window to a man's soul, so they say.
He's like a robot, too.
And you, I mean, hey, them demons were speaking through you, man. Enough said, bro. We're going to go back. Yeah, bring it up.
This is Acts 20 and 29. It says, For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you.
That nigga's a grievous wolf, man. That dude, the whole camp of ISUPK, they grievous wolves. Because how you gonna bring some information, some madness like that out and said that, say, attention to all you fake Israelites. If you say John the Baptist is a plate of fish, give me that hot sauce. Then you like John the Baptist as a squirrel, a red-tailed squirrel, scotch. So that was the demon that was speaking through you, man. Then you got your followers, your bonehead followers, that's going to eat that up, man. They tell you the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Most High have you out there deceiving who he want to be deceived, man. Because you a deceiver, totally.
Yeah, it says, also of your own selves shall men arise speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them.
And that dude was definitely speaking perverse things, man. Likening John the Baptist to a plate of fish. Saying that John the Baptist, you know, if he's like a red-tailed squirrel, and you feed him nuts and shit. Give him nuts and liken him as a bottle of scotch.
I got something real quick.
Dude is bugged out. Let's get back to the topic. Dude is bugged out, man.
This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
And Jacob's trouble is definitely coming. And 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you're going to fall victim to Esau's coming in like a flood, man. You see, when a flood of water come in, it overtakes everything. That's how Esau's army gonna come in like a flood, man, and take over everything, man. This more you niggas down, man. Never even gonna see how tough you are, man. And this coronavirus could very well spell state of emergency, in which in all actuality is gonna be martial law. But they're not gonna call it martial law, they're gonna call it a state of emergency. Whereas they're gonna set up quarantine stations, in which they're already doing throughout America, and they're gonna start, and quarantine stations really a concentration camp. But they're gonna be doing mass vaccinations and also mass microchipping. And this is and they're going to separate you from your families. And this is real shit right here. Bring that again, bro.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, man, because guess what? Because guess what? The elect, the first fruits, the aristocrats, they're going to be saved out of that madness, man. Those that's joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, man. But the rest of the 2/3, they're going to get caught up in that madness, man. And there's going to be no remedy. Somebody get, you still got something?
Yeah.
But, no, don't hold that. Let's get on deck. 2nd Ezra 16 and 69. Because that goes right along with that. Get that right there, bro. Finish that, bro.
I'll finish with Jeremiah 30, so I'll just bring this out real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 2.
Cool, yeah. Stop the first verse.
Okay, verse 1. Then saith Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me.
See, Moses represent the law, and Samuel represent the prophets. Though Moses and Samuel stood before me, Gabriel, read.
Yet my mind could not be toward this people.
Yet my mind could not be towards this people. Look at the state of Israel, man. I'm on my way going to work this morning, man. You got madness on the train, man. Madness. There's never a dull moment on the subway system. In the subway system, man, there's always madness. And then you don't even want to be around these jakes, man. That's how vexing they can get your spirit, man. First of all, they're always talking about madness, man. There's nothing positive coming out of their mouth, and they always scheming on each other. Like the apostle said, they always scheming on each other, man. You got more?
Yet my mind could not be toward this people.
Yet the Most High said his mind cannot be toward this people, man. Even though Moses and Samuel stood before him to represent these people, my mind came out. No, yeah, man, get these people from out of my face, man. I don't want to see these people. Yeah, bro.
Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass.
See, when it says the Most High said, cast them out of my sight, meaning Jerusalem, cast them out, because the eyes of the Most High, when it's the Most High said, cast them out of the sight, it represents Israel being cast and spread and cast out of Jerusalem and spread abroad. And then read.
And let them go forth.
Let them go forth.
And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, such as are for death to death.
Such as for death unto death, Pop Smoke. What's that? Oh, this that chick that got stabbed recently, the security guard that stabbed in her chest.
Oh shit.
She got stabbed and she died, you know what I mean? On the job. 20 years on the job. Died. Boom. Stabbed in her chest. Boom.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? That's judgment. There's people that's dropping death from these coronavirus, these gangbangers, these drug dealers. Such as for death unto death, yeah, bro.
And such as are for the sword to the sword.
Hey, once again, Pop Smoke. Then he get put down by the sword. What's these other niggas that's getting killed?
There's some other rapper, but I forgot
his name too.
You can't forget about what happened to Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
People they just had a tribute, and you had Michael Jordan. He did a speech where he was crying, crocodile tears. So these people are, they hurt. They hurt because of that. They're idols, man. Their idols are being taken away, man.
That's right. It's okay, bro.
And such as are for the famine to the famine.
And hey, it's a sore famine coming, man. You see, there's multiple videos in different parts of the world, like in Italy. The stores, the way they were, the shelves was completely clear, man. Clean. Only you saw was a couple of empty, or a couple of busted up cans that people disregarded, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of busted up waters, Gatorades, a few things around that it's been open, so you're like, I'm not even going to get it because I don't know if it's been contaminated or not, so they just left it there. you know. But the shelves was empty. And you're going to see that. You saw that in Venezuela. You see that in Brazil. You see that over in Italy now. You're going to see that on the shores of America. That's coming, man. That shit is coming to America, baby. You like Eddie Murphy coming to America? But guess what? Death, destruction, plagues, and famine is coming to America.
If I may say too, because you know, this coronavirus, you know, many people have their theories about the coronavirus, all right, because you know, there's been conspiracies that the coronavirus is being used as a agenda to issue in the you know, Esau's narrative, man, which is ultimately the cashless society, man. All right, because we know that the narrative is still the same. You know, the dollar's gonna crash. All right, there's gonna be a World War III. All right, so they need a what you call? They need a they need a how can I say?
A catalyst.
Yeah, catalyst. All right, they need something to push that agenda, man. To justify all these draconian laws that they about to push, man. Because Esau is gonna come down with them draconian laws, them harsh laws, man. It's going, you know, things is gonna change in an instant, man. All right, our comfortability, you know, because people are not our comfortability, because we're not comfortable. You know, these American people here in America, they comfortable, man. That comfortability, the scriptures say what? The Most High is gonna take that away, and it's gonna come in unawares. All right, so things like the coronavirus, man. All right, that you know, there's multiple theories on that, man. You know, that could be an agenda. You know, we don't know, but the Most High know. And we gonna go according to scriptures, man. All right, that's why Amazon, it says right here from CNBC, Amazon is opening its first full-size cashierless grocery store. All right, you know, and brothers did shows on that, man, because they trying to go into a cashless society. All right, that's why we said the stocks is doing bad. All right,
real quick. The stocks for the and brothers, we got into this Robinhood thing, so brothers is definitely watching the stock market, man, because we capitalizing off the downfall of these stocks, man, and we investing in certain stocks that we know, and just like the priest Shaman put out there, using prophecies to get a foothold on the stock market, man. You know, we seeing what these prophecies are coming to pass. What we doing is we capitalize, we investing in certain things. And we capitalize off it, you know what I'm saying? Even though when all hell breaks loose, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna do away with the dollar, and they're gonna bring forth their digital currency. Yeah. But guess what? When all fails, we say when everything collapses, man, fuck it, man.
Yeah. One more thing. Today, you know, when I was riding the MTA, New York City Transit, they made an announcement. You know, they was pushing the Omni, One Metro New York, which is the cash. You don't gotta use a Metro card no more. You use your phone, and you just tap your phone, and then you go through the turnstile. All right, they pushing that harder now. All right, they bringing it. They putting them that technology, the Omni technology, in every station.
But now speaking on that.
Omni 2020.
Real quick, speaking on that, I would just, I'm not gonna tell you what station I get off on and what station I get on the train at to go to work, but last night when I got off the train, I didn't see that Omni technology there. This morning, when I got, I was, what the fuck? Shit was there. So they had to do that shit overnight, man. They had to install that technology overnight, man. They had to start, and because that's not no easy thing to do, man. So they had to start and get an 8-hour advantage, you know what I'm saying, point where they put that in. Because last night, when I got off work, it was not there. This morning when I get on the train station, I said, I'm like, what the fuck?
Shit there, like it was always there.
But hey, bro, show you, man, they planning something, man. Why do you think Congress extended the Patriot Act for 3 months, going into March? Effective immediately from January 2020 to March, 3 months. Now we see why. Look what's going on with this coronavirus, the extension of the Patriot Act. They got these quarantine stations set up around America. San Francisco, as we speak, is in a state of emergency. We got the coronavirus hitting hard. You got people in Long Island, New York, that's affected by, they say 89 people, if I'm not mistaken. There's an article on Dabu 7 and AMTV with Christopher Green. It was going into it. Also, Lisa Haven was going into it. How the U.S. and the World Health Organization, called WHO, is going into having secret meetings, man. And why are they having these secret meetings? Why is Donald Trump saying that the stock market is good, but again, but after that, it goes down again, man? That's an agenda, yeah, bro.
And such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
That's them concentration camps, man. And such are for the captivity to the captivity, them concentration camps, man. Hold that real quick and get that in second Ezra, the 16th chapter, the 69th verse.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision.
And who is they? Talking about the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that consent unto taking these vaccinations, that consent unto taking, that offer the microchip. You're gonna be had in derision. Because why? You may save your life for a season, but when Howard Shah come, he gonna do you real vicious, man. He gonna do you dirty. He gonna fuck you up. Excuse my language. So you're not escaping. You're escaping Esau's punishment. Esau's judgment, but Esau himself is going to be judged, and you're going to be judged for taking that chip, for allowing Esau to chip you, and you would declare that Esau, the so-called white man, is your God, man. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Yeah, bro.
Con. And in reproach and trodden underfoot.
You're going to be in reproach and trodden underfoot, man. You're going to be trodden underfoot for, because you're going to go through all kind of hell, man. But before thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire, it's going to be famine, it's going to be race wars, it's going to be insurrections, you're going to have Interpol coming in, you're going to have the National Guards, you're going to have the UN troops, and they're going to be doing your dirty, kicking your doors in, snatching you out of your house 3 o'clock in the morning, separating you and your family from each other, man, putting you for different concentration camps. These are the things that's going to take place, man. So, yeah, bro.
Con, verse, you want to continue verse 70?
Yeah.
Verse 70.
Hold down to 73.
Con. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
And that's like a big uprising, man. Insurrection is like an uprising, man. In the case of an insurrection is like an uprising against a monarch or a government, but in this case it's going to be an uprising against the people that fear the Lord. Who are the people that fear the Lord? The Israelites, man. Because the government is going to come down like a flood, man. Having no pity. Just slaying. Locking people up. Let them finish this real quick. Locking people up. Doing what the hell they have to do, man. To establish their agenda, which they New World Order agenda, which is mass microchipping of the whole people, man. But they're going to use, there's certain crisis they use. Never let a good crisis go to waste, man. So they use this crisis as a coronavirus, this coronavirus crisis to blame it on this crisis on the coronavirus. This coronavirus crisis, they blame it on the stock market being the way it is, which is total bullshit. They blame it on, they starting to tighten down on mass travel. They banning that. They already have this real ID, whereas effective January of 2020, if you don't have that real ID, you cannot get on planes. You can't travel. Even domestic flights, you can't travel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
And they want to push this narrative as you have to cut off beard to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus.
And I seen that. Yeah, I saw that video. I saw that in the WhatsApp chat. Listen, man, I'm not cutting my beard off, man. I have faith in Most High Yahweh Shah, man.
That's right.
Me cutting my beard off and putting on the mask is not going to stop me from getting affected by the coronavirus if the Most High want me to be affected by the coronavirus, man.
That's right.
So me cutting my beard off, man, it's only going to do is plague me because the Most High going to fuck me up for doing that, man. Because there's a law on that, man. So, hey, man, we know these things are coming down, man. Finish reading, bro.
Con, verse 71. This shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Esau gonna be like madmen, sparing none, kicking people doors in, separating families. Your women might get raped in front of you. They holding you down, watching a bunch of soldiers having their way with your woman, with your 2 daughters, and they look good. You got daughters. You know what I mean? Esau is a fucking homosexual, so he might turn around and try to pop you in front of your wife to humble you, man. It's not like it wasn't done before. That's something called buck breaking. So they did it. They did it before. So why not say, hey? Why not have them do it now? Same spirit. Them Edomites got a demonic, foul spirit on them, man. So they something to do anything, man. Yeah, bro.
Come, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods.
They shall kick your door in, take all your goods, your toiletries, your medical supplies, redistribute them, your food, redistribute them, your water. That's why it's not good to be on some hoarding shit, man, you know, because case in point, that movie The Road, that dude, they found a bunker or a safe haven where there was a bunk bed, mad liquor. They even had marijuana down there, food, you know, hot bath, hot water, everything running, man. And whoever's prepped all that to save that, they must have got killed, man, on their way to go there, or they trying to sneak out to go help somebody and got put to death. Because that dude and his son found it. And the dude left. He got scared and wanted to leave. But it's something, Daddy, why are we going to leave? Why leave? We should stay here. But he got scared and left. Guess what happened? He got caught up. And he got killed. You know what I mean? But they should have stood there. Hey, so I'm saying that to say this. You may prep some food for yourself, trying to be a hoarder in preparation of this famine and being a prepper. And the Most High may have you prep that and save that for a man of the Lord to eat that and have his way with that, man. You just get put to death. So you saved and prepped all that for a man to come and take over that, man. You know?
All right, troops, and take it.
We got more.
Come, verse 73. Then shall be known who are my chosen.
And then you're going to know who the chosen of the Most High is, man. Because the Most High said in Isaiah that, behold, his people shall eat and be.
I got it.
You got it? Hey, that's the spirit, man. Bring it up real quick. Hold that. Bring that real quick.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
Hey, the servants of the Most High shall eat, but the rest of you people out there, the 2/3 of the rest of you people gonna be hungry, man. Starving. Looking for your next meal. Out there cutting throat. Look at that movie Contagion. When all hell was breaking loose, man. It showed a scene when Matt Damon was looking out the window and he saw two guys running in the crib, bro. You seen the sparks of the gun sparks flying, you know what I mean? And they killed the occupants of that house, and then you see them running out with their goods, man. That's the same thing that's going to happen. Spoiling and taking goods for the lack of bread for great tribulation. Read, bro.
It states, behold, Salakia, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
And we're going to be, the servants of the Most High, Abaratazah, the men in this room are part of the elect and be preserved, and be fed in that time of crisis, you know what I'm saying? The men of the Lord is going to be drinking wine, drinking, having abundance of water, having abundance of food. Real quick, abundance of food, and laughing at what's going on to the 2/3 of the rest of the wicked out there. Wicked being Esau and the rest of the nations, man. But mainly Esau is the wicked. You got more?
Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Hey, those of you who knew that you were in Israel but fell off, those of you that scoffed and scorned, those of you that changed the doctrine, y'all all gonna be ashamed, man. And y'all gonna be a part of that 2/3 that's gonna be put to death, man. That's gonna be suffering, Men that claim that John the Baptist is a plate of fish, they're gonna be suffering in that day, man.
That's blasphemy, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
That's blasphemy, man. Men that claim that crackpots and men that, I'm not even gonna call them a crackpot, men that claim that John the Baptist is like a red-tailed squirrel or liking John the Baptist to liquor, they're gonna suffer in that time, man. It says, then they're gonna read it again real quick, then it should be known who the chosen of the Most High. And then go back to that real quick.
Con, verse 73. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
How they gonna be tried that gold in the fire? Because they're gonna be offered that the microchip or death. They're gonna be offered that vaccination or being quarantined in a concentration camp, man. Then definitely after that, mass microchipping. But the man that claimed that John the Baptist is likened unto a plate of fish, you're gonna be had in derision, man. It's gonna be known that you are not it's gonna be known that you are not a man of the Lord, man. Because the man of the Lord won't speak no madness out of his mouth like that, man.
Straight up.
Scripture say every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account in the day of judgment.
That's right, man. So you're not gonna escape the judgment of the Most High, man. That's blasphemy. And you know what? I'm not even mad at you, Holmes, because hey, that's how the Most High have it set up. You got the false prophets out there that's deceiving, and you have the mass that's being deceived. And they both belong to the Most High. The deceiver and the deceived are the Most Highs, man. So hey, you doing your job, man. So continue doing that, because you're only deceiving the simple, those that the Most High don't want. Yeah, bro, you got that simple thing. You can finish that right there.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. It states, "But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink."
And you're not a servant of the Most High, Holmes, so you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna be thirsty.
You're gonna starve.
You're gonna starve. You're gonna get caught out there, Holmes. You that claim that John the Baptist is likened unto a plate of fish, you're gonna be wishing you had some hot sauce and a plate of fish in that day, man. You're gonna be wishing you had a plate of fish with some hot sauce and a sip of scotch to calm your nerves in that day, Holmes. Because you're gonna be in dire straits. You and all the rest of them men that claim that you have the truth, you don't have the truth, man. That's it, man. Straight into the point, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "But ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart."
We're going to be praising the Most High, you know. Barakatah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, praising the Most High, you know. Eating, drinking, you know. This fellowshipping and amongst ourselves, whoever we the brothers are with, you know. But you're gonna be in sorrow of heart, man. You're gonna be in dire straits, man. You're gonna be suffering.
And shall howl for vexation of spirit.
And then howl for you're gonna be howling for vexation of spirit. You're gonna be, oh God damn. You're gonna be in pain, man. You're gonna be vexed in your spirit, man. And you're gonna wish you had that plate of fish with that hot sauce. And the nuts, you're gonna wish you had that in the time. And the Most High may have it where you die from famine. You like to eat too. You like to have a lot of late snacks, man. You look like you like to have a lot of late snacks. Yeah,
These guys are nothing more than stumbling blocks.
Yeah.
You know?
for those who the Most High don't want. Like I said earlier, the deceived and the deceiver are his, man. So you out there deceiving people with that radio station, whatever the hell you have, you know.
Scriptures say,
No cowards. You gonna be the coward in that day, man. You gonna be cowering in the corner, under your bed, hiding from them Gurkha troops and them UN troops that's gonna kick your door in. And where they're gonna find you at? Under your bed, slap you, hiding, shaking, quivering in the fetus position.
the scriptures say the elect cannot be deceived. All right, so you guys that's teaching these false doctrines, all right, you're nothing more than a comedy show for the elect and the angels, all right, and we're laughing, but really, that laughter is really anger, because we're pissed off. I got it. Yeah.
Bring this preacher, then let you get your little word, get your word in. You know what I'm saying? Then
Come on.
after you get your word in, you know what I'm saying? Quantum Waffle, right?
This, second Ezra.
So hold on, real quick. This brother was holding this piece.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. Proverbs 1, it's just quick. Proverbs 1 verse 26. I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
And that's what's going to happen, man. The Most High is going to do it. The Most High is going to laugh at your calamities and mock at your fear when your fear cometh. His prophets, his men, some of the apostles on down is going to laugh at you and mock you when your calamity suddenly come upon you, man. When there's judgment, there's also mercy. But the Most High, if you don't turn your shit around, man, and repent for saying that shit about, saying all that crazy madness, man, the Most High gonna do you real vicious like. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High is gonna do you real vicious like. In other words, He's gonna fuck you up.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bro, you got it.
Con. Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 27. It says, just backing up what the brother read in Isaiah 65th chapter. It says on 2 Ezra 2 and 27. Be not weary. Alright? Be not weary to the brothers that's sincere about this thing. Alright? We gotta constantly pray to the Most High and His Son. Alright, to strengthen our spirits and to, keep us in the right spirit that we may be allotted to endure to the end. Alright? It says, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, that's Jacob's trouble. All right, the day of trouble for the nation of Israel, all right, and the rest of the world. Okay, right now we see the coronavirus out here in the world. All right, we see evils growing upon the earth. All right, the sword, famine. All right, confusion. Men trying to be women, women trying to be men. All right, people waxing worse and worse, especially people in Israel, as the elder brother Yahweh just mentioned. You got these niggas in ISUPK, all right, teaching that John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. Then they mocking John the Baptist, right, making light of the scriptures, man, when really they're blaspheming the Holy Spirit, man. All right, so these guys, man, I'm gonna just read on, man. It says, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. Yeah, that's the 2/3, man. All right, false prophets included. Okay, it says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, and that's the elect. They're gonna be merry, and they're gonna be in a rejoicing spirit. They're gonna rejoice. Why? Because they're gonna know that the Lord is with them. When all hell's breaking loose and everybody else is dying of starvation, dying their various different ways they're gonna die. Their bodies being laid out as dung upon the earth. When you're one of the only few that's surviving out there, man, you're gonna be merry and have abundance, man. Okay? It says the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. All right. So the heathen, which is the other nations, all right, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're gonna envy us. All right, but they can't do nothing against us. Why? Because the Lord got his wall of fire, his hedge about the elect, man. All right. So they ain't gonna be able to do nothing against us, man. All right. So yeah, that was it.
Con. This is the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So during the time of Jacob's trouble, when there's going to be famine in the land of America, Babylon the Great, and throughout the various parts of the world where the elect have been scattered, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, is going to redeem His elect from death.
Read it again, bro. Because I like it, bro. I would just,
Okay, this is Job chapter 5, verse 20. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. All right, so in famine, which will be widespread across the four winds of the planet Earth, more so over here in America, Babylon the Great, during the time of Jacob's trouble, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, will redeem His elect from death. How? We just read it earlier in the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 12 on down. The Lord is going to provide food, victuals, raiment for His elect during the time of Jacob's trouble. And He will redeem us, Lord's willing, we are of the elect, from death. And in war, from the power of the sword. Because there's going to be nothing but chaos and disorder out here in America, Babylon the Great, and in various parts of the world, in different countries where Israel has been scattered. Because people are going to be protesting against their government. People are going to be looting each other's homes. There are going to be race wars, so on and so forth. There's going to be war. And ultimately, there's going to be the third world's woe, in which the Lord, Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, will deliver us from the elect. Lord's willing, we are of the elect.
That's right.
from the power of the sword. And you understand that the sword, pursuant to the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13, is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, okay? Which today, again, they are known as the so-called Caucasian, which they are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. They are the sword of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through Son Yahweh Shah, which the Lord will deliver his elect from, okay? And the ultimate sword are the ICBM nuclear missiles, okay? So the Lord is going to deliver the elect from these things during the time of Jacob's trouble, and also during the time of the Thorough's woe, when the Lord is going to destroy the kingdom of Esau, Edom. That's it.
Precept. This is the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. So these signs, man, these great things, Yahweh Shai is telling to his disciples, man, in the last days and times, these signs, man, is going to follow the men that believe upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So in my name shall they cast out devils, they shall speak with new tongues. Kind of, we see that, man. We see that from the apostles on down, man, rebuking these demons out there, man, both physical and spiritual, and speaking in new tongues, man. You have Akim speaking in any tongue you name it, French, Dutch, Chinese, all these different tongues, man. You have men of the Lord speaking in these tongues, man.
The apostle speaking in Italian.
Yeah.
The apostle Gabar speaking in Italian. You know, and you have also brothers that that's fluent in the Hebrew. You know.
Yeah. But that actually happened, like back then. That actually, the Lord gave them the spirit.
Acts the 2nd chapter.
Yeah, the Lord actually gave them the spiritual power to do those things, to fulfill His will, and to preach it to the scattered Israelites on a higher scale.
Verse 18. This is kind of to the point. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. So, hey, going into coronavirus, man, like the elder brother Yahweh that was saying, man, hey, we trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So we ain't fretting about catching the coronavirus, man. Like the scripture say, man, they shall take up serpents, man, and if they drink any deadly thing, man. So any type of disease or any biological warfare that Esau, so like Esau, the so-called white man, looking to try to give the men of the Lord, it ain't gonna work if it's not the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Continuing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. The men of the Lord lay hands, especially more so spiritually sick, man. We were all spiritually sick at once, man. Because why? We thought we were Negroes. We thought we were Trinidadians. We thought we were Jamaicans. We thought we were Haitians. We thought we were Mexicans, Latinos. So we were spiritually sick, man. But guess what? The Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, use the men of the Lord from the apostles on down, and they teach us, man. And the elders on down, man. And elders on down to spiritually heal us, man. Bring us into the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Show us that we're from our tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Issachar, Ephraim, so on and so forth. So, hey, this word healed us, man. Man, that was the point that I said.
Yeah, because the time we're going on now, man, I'm going to bring out this 2nd Ezra 15 verse 14, yeah. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Break it down.
Yeah, and because the gun sale up now in Virginia, man. A lot of AR-15 and rifles that sell hard now, man. Because believe it or not, right now, in this last second, we're in a civil war, man. We're in a civil war number 2. And guns and swords, machete, all type of swords are get fight in these streets, man. You know what I mean? With different races. Mainly Jacob and Esau. And Jacob is the 12 tribes, man. We're persistent of the Negroes, the Latino, and the Native American go on down. And Esau are the white man, the white race. And other nations have a fight too. You know what I mean? You good?
Go ahead, bro. Read on. Read on. I got you.
You need a comment?
You got a gun?
For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight fight against another, and swords in their hand. Yeah, that's a race war, man.
That's right.
Yeah, that's race war and fight, man. You know what I mean? Because when the economic collapse happen, you're gonna have a lot of invasion happening, man. Jacob running in these gated community. You know what I mean? Jake gonna run in and do a lot of damage, man. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna look so good. It's not looking so good on America now, man. You know what I mean? Stock market crash. You got invasion, killing, raping, quarantine, martial law, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, look more. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Yeah, man. Democrats, sedition among men, man. Racial class group. You have the Democrats. You know what I mean? You have the Republicans. You have the feminists. You're going to have a lot of room groups running through the streets of America with swords in their hand, man.
Ain't gonna be no feminists running through the streets that day.
Yeah, no feminists, you're right. Yeah.
And that day, women gonna be put in their right place, man. Like, you got these women out of order right now, you know, talking shit to men. But when all hell break loose, let's see one of you bitches act tough in that day, man. Let's see a dyke pop shit in that day, man. That's not gonna be a thing heard of in that day, man.
Yeah, the scripture says in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, Yahweh told us that the love of many shall wax cold. The word wax means to grow. And that's why there's going to be sedition amongst men. There's going to be division amongst the different nations that the Lord has created upon the planet Earth. There's going to be division between Jacob and Esau. There's going to be division against Jacob and Ishmael. Division against Jacob and Moab.
And Ham.
And Ham. Okay, because the Lord has only made 18 nations on the planet Earth. And right now, all 18 nations are right here in America. Babylon the Great, which is the great melting pot, which the Lord will destroy with thermonuclear fire. But during the time of Jacob's trouble, there's going to be a sedition amongst these different nations, man. That's why men are going to be invading the houses and homes of different others, man. Men are going to be running around, stabbing each other up, shooting each other in the head.
Women gonna be getting shit raped out of them.
Yeah, because it's gonna be bad. And all you women out there, man, that have been talking shit with that whole feminist movement bullshit and that whole Me Too movement bullshit, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna shut you the hell up during those times, man.
And you know, you got them rough dykes out there that think they men. You know what? And the time, the rough dykes out there think they men, but they still look good. They got them nice little bodies on them. Yo, you're going to be getting humbled. You're going to get humbled, and you're going to know that tough dyke appearance you had, you're not being protected by Esau no more. That was your only protection, the government. Besides the government, you had no protection. Because you damn sure not being protected by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You open to the elements. That's why them demons are on you, making you think you a man, you know? So when that time, when the Most High, you know, put the spirit on Esau to show his horns, hey, you gonna get whooped out. And let me tell you this right here too. Dealing with these spirits, right? Now Deontay Wilder, right? It was exposed that he was dealing with witchcraft, man.
Yeah.
And how he was using witchcraft, and he was like, yo, I'm going to my ancient
ancestors
of Nigeria roots, know what I mean, to help me, you know, that spirit, I get that spirit, that warrior spirit. No. Just like my man Tyson Fury said, your little buddies on the left hand side. He said your little buddies in the spiritual world was helping you. But guess what? He got the demons came out on him. Show you that them demons are out there, man. Show you that you can that Jake is just totally off and bugged out, man. This dude conjuring up spirits to help him, man. And what happened? Guess what? You worshiping the Most High, but on the left hand side, Deontay. And what the Most High did was, he called off them demons that was helping you win them fights, and you got your ass handed to you. You was breathing in your ear. Since you said your lip was like a sausage, you know what I mean? The dude that's put it on you, man. I mean, vicious like, man. Beat you down, man. I mean, totally beat you down. Yo, Dude was beat up, man. You seen this? It was bleeding and shit.
Yeah, come on.
Ear bleeding, lips like a sausage. I mean, what else happened? I'm saying,
Quick research.
Yeah, fucked up.
He got
The
knocked
costume,
down.
the
Yeah,
costume.
Real quick. This is Proverbs. Since you're going into who controls the battle. Proverbs 21:31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of Yahweh.
that's right, man. So you got the horsemen, and you go into the ancient world, right? You had men that was on the ground, then you had the men that was on horse. They was of higher rank, and them horsemen was prepared for battle, and they would go right behind or sometimes ahead of the troops. But usually the troops, the men on the ground, will go first. Then you got the horsemen behind them on horses, making sure that the battle goes right. And if the needs be, they go and whip ass too. But confidence in the battle belongs to the Most High. The Most High, he's the Lord of hosts.
Yes.
He's the Lord of hosts, or the Lord of Sabaoth, which means the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies.
I got some.
And the Most High controls the battlefield. The Most High is a man of war. He controls both. The Most High likes that. This is his movie. This is his game. He's sitting back and like a chess player that's maneuvering the pieces, and the king he want to fall, they're going to fall. The king he want to win, he's going to put the spirit on them to win. Dealing with so in boxing too. You dealing with the left hand side, the Most High is allowing them demons to give you the power to do what you do. But when he take them demons off you, your fall's gonna be great. Case in point, Deontay Wilder, you got beat vicious like, bro. That dude beat you. I mean, beat you bad too, bro. Had you bleeding from your ear, your nose,
so fucked up.
your lip was like a sausage.
It was like hanging and shit.
His lip was like a sausage, yeah. He got, I mean, from them.
Fall off and shit.
I mean, bad, bro. You got beat there. Then your wife, you was in the ring, sitting down on the chair, getting doctored on. Your wife looking at you. Your kids is like, oh. Your wife is like, oh shit. You know?
Can I say something to me? Usually box, man, and you can't the physical round. If you look on all of the heavyweight fighter them never go so far and counter up spirits. That to show you the generation we're in. We in a high level generation. He maybe watch us and know. So him counter up the spirits them for give him power which Mike Tyson never do. George Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, nobody never do that.
Yeah,
But,
bro.
you know?
Bro. If you look at the Twitter in
Yeah.
Manila, going back when Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman in 1974, the year I was born, and over in Manila,
Congo.
and it was called the Thriller. I think it was called
Philippines.
the Thriller of Manila.
Philippines.
Muhammad Ali, when he came out, he had look at that fight. Watch that fight. If you could, it's out there.
Who he's fighting?
George Foreman, and when he came
yeah.
out, right?
Back in the 70s?
Yeah, when he came out, right? When he,
Zaire.
That was in
that was in Zaire. That was in Zaire.
It was in Africa. Yeah, it was in Africa.
It was in Africa.
Congo.
Now, check it out. It was in Zaire. Now,
Now,
guess what? You right, brother.
It's Congo, man.
It was in Zaire, but guess what? Watch that fight. When he came out, right? He had these women
Democratic Congo.
drinking shit, spitting it out, and doing all kind of enchantments. You know what I'm saying? While he was walking, bro.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, watch that. So,
I mean, the way that he beat that, because George Foreman was
Yo, bro, George Foreman was beating him, then. But let me just say, them spirits helped him win. And all I'm saying is this right here, bro. All I'm saying is right here. When you watch that movie, but not that movie, when you watch that fight, and how you could tell, man, the energy, how he was walking out, he had them women walking with him, like 3 of them, and they was spitting out shit and chanting and doing that crazy dance and shit. And when he was coming out to the ring, so that was voodoo.
Yeah.
But people, but if you don't know about that, some people knew, but some people didn't know. But they disregarded. But people that was that's into that spiritual realm shit, they knew that shit was voodoo and witchcraft, man. And that was conjuring up spirits.
Well, I know for a fact that George Foreman at that time, he was a bad dude, and he was knocking dudes out left and right. And
But-
Muhammad Ali was a little bit older in age, so, you know.
But when you walking to the left hand side,
Yeah.
you know, shit happens, man. You get the power to the Most High, pour that, just like Esau. Esau is conjuring up spirits and winning and getting all these, you know, and worshiping these demons on the left hand side. What's happening? When the Most High pour them spirits off Esau, and Esau have no more power on the left hand side, that's why he said, stand down now with thy enchantments, man. So that's not going to work no more, man. Anybody got any scriptures, man?
Yeah, so this is Psalm chapter 33, verse 17. And horse is a vain thing for safety.
Horse represents power. The power of the government is the vain thing for safety. So you out there, so you got certain people out there that's going to take the operative microchip, thinking that the government is going to protect them. You got people out there taking them vaccinations, thinking that them vaccinations are going to help them, but in reality, there's something called democide that the government, is a terminology that the government use. Democide is when the government kill off its citizens through war, pestilence, vaccinations. So, democide is a tool that the government use on its citizens. So that horse, representing power, which represents a government structure, that's not going to save you, man. Then the time when the Most High cracked them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance, man. Yahweh Shah, man. It's not going to save you, man. Yeah, bro.
Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength.
Neither shall that power of the government deliver any with his great strength, because the Most High governs everything, man. What is the Most High's host of the battle? Something like that.
Precept for that.
Also the battle.
The Most High controls both sides of the battle, man. Or who you want to win is going to win. Bring that real quick.
Another one real quick as a precept. Psalms 147 verse 10. He delighteth not in the strength of the horse. He taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man. That's it, bro.
Hey, case in point, the Most High, I'm saying, hey, he delighted not in the strength of the horse, which represents the power structure of this government, the military might. And what else?
It says, he taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man.
He taketh not pleasure in the legs of a man. Hey, man, going back to the military might and the power structure of a government, man. Case in point, the most powerful government right now is allegedly America, man. And this place is gonna be taken down in great destruction, man. It's gonna be spectacular too, man. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I got some.
Come
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 19. For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
Hey, for the victory of the battle, that's a beautiful scripture there, man. Because Judas Maccabee, the Hasmonean dynasty, which their real name was the Hasmoneans, but they got that name because Judas Maccabee was laying sledgehammer blows upon the Assyrian army, man, which was Antiochus Epiphanes, man. The Assyrian army, the Assyrians was the Greeks, man. They had control of that. That's what's called the Syrian war. But he laid terrible. He afflicted them with great pain and anguish, man, and had them flee, man. So and that was a small company against a great company of men. Read it again, Babu Kashab.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 19. For the victory standeth not in the multitude of an host.
For the victory standeth not in the multitude of the power of the government or the power of the troops, the power of the military, but what?
But strength cometh from heaven.
But strength cometh from the Lord. That's why that great force that was out there was put to flight by a small multitude of men, which was the Hasmonean dynasty or the Maccabees. The Hasmoneans, which at that time was Judas Maccabees and his army, put a whole host of men, powerful army, to flight, man. Why? Because the host of the battle belonged to the Most High, man. And who the Most High wants to win, he's going to win. And the Most High shamed the Greek army. Why? Because the Most High was dealing with Judas Maccabee. The Most High is not going to, a man that's serving the Most High in truth and sincerity, the Most High is not going to leave him, man. The Most High is going to be with him. The Most High Yahweh is going to be with him, man, through truth and now, man. And at the end, when Judas Maccabee was besieged and his men was leaving him because they was afraid of the army, when he said, God forbid I should do this day and they flee from my enemies. Somebody get that. What scripture is that? Yazab, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when his men ran.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But he was like, God forbid.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Matter of fact, I got it real quick. Say, speak real quick,
I bring this quick precept up. Hold on, break this down. Psalms 33 and 16. There is no king saved by the multitude of an host.
Right. There is no king saved by the multitude of an host.
Right here.
That's why the Lord said in the book of Isaiah 34 that the Pharaoh is a man and not God, and his horses flesh and not spirit.
Okay.
Because a king is not saved by his armies, man. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through Son Yahweh Shai, is the one that sets up a kingdom. Okay? And brings it down.
That's right, son. You finished?
A little more.
Yeah, finish breaking it down, bro.
A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
Right. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. Because the Lord does not delight in the strength of a man, as we had read earlier. Because the strength of a man is Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and not himself. That's why the Lord said to lean not upon thine own understanding.
That's right.
That was it.
That was it.
First, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 7, and how they took him alive, and
No, First Maccabees chapter 8, verse let me see.
7, right? Or 7 Maccabees.
First Maccabees, no, it's First Maccabees chapters 8 is a. No, hold on, bro. I just gave it to you, bro.
And I read
It
on.
was First Maccabees chapter.
I read on.
It
I
was
read
8.
Psalms 33 and 17. A horse is a vain thing for safety.
That's what we just read earlier.
We got it right now. So it's right here. It says
That's a
9 verse 7.
That's a
yeah,
script.
9 verse 7.
Can you want
No, but I'm gonna go up to right here. Right.
No, you have to read that.
No, it's yeah. All right, now read Second Ezra 9 verse First Maccabees chapter 9 verse 5.
Khan, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 9, verse 5. Now Judas had pitched his tents at Eliezer, and 3,000 chosen men.
Man, he pitched his tent. He had his army, and they was set up right there. The garrison was set up right there. A total of 3,000 men. Yeah, bro.
And 3,000 chosen men with him. Verse 6, who seeing the multitude of the other army.
The multitude of the Greek army, man, namely Antiochus, man. The army of Antiochus, man. It was a great multitude of them, man. Where they was greatly outnumbered. 3,000 chosen men against hundreds of thousands of men. Yeah, bro.
Khan. Whereupon Salakia, who seeing the multitude of the other army to be so great, were so afraid.
Hey, certain men that was with Judas Maccabee got afraid, like, oh shit. Because they was violent men. They was like, they was out there doing their thing, man. They was courageous men. They was men of war. They was so-called mighty men. But when they saw that great multitude, man, they got scared, like, oh shit. Look at the fucking people that's coming against us, man. And they got scared, which is natural. That's a human instinct to get scared when you see that right there. And you know you in battle, you done killed a lot of people. And, hey, man, blood, man, hey, Most High require blood for blood, man. So you killing people, but not murdering them. You killing them in the name of protecting your land, your women, your culture, your way of life, man. You're doing a righteous thing. But there's come times when you know that your time is going to come. And it was a great multitude in the army that was coming, man, that came up against them. And they was like, oh, shh. So they got scared. So some men got nervous, read, bro.
Whereupon many conveyed themselves out of the host.
Meaning they seen that, oh shit, so one by one, certain men started leaving Judas Maccabee. And then after a while, that 3,000 dwindled down to like probably 1,000 or something like that, man. I don't know, read real quick.
Khan, in so much as there abode of them no more but 800 men.
So that means 2,200 men left Judas Maccabee. They was like, what? Oh shit. And they left. They kind of dispersed. They fled. Because they lacked faith, man. They were scared. Which is understandable, understandable. You love, because, not losing faith is understandable, but being scared is understandable. But you gotta have faith, man. Because the host of the battle has been proven throughout Judas Maccabee's battles with the Syrian army, which was the Greek armies that took over Syria. They won many wars. Read, bro.
Khan, verse 7. When Judas therefore saw
there was only 800 men left in his army after 3,000. He had 3,000 with him, but now he looked around and he got 800 men. Yeah, bro.
When Judas therefore saw that his host slipped away, and that the battle pressed upon him.
When Judas Maccabee saw that his host, was his army, slipped away, and the hundreds of thousands of troops was pressing upon them, coming at them, he had no time to prep up his men. Yeah,
And that the battle pressed upon him, he was so troubled in mind.
Meaning he was like, oh shit. He looked around like, oh, everybody leaving me, man. You know, now, he was so like, distressed. Like, what I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna, get these guys build these guys' confidence back up, man. Seeing that most of the men fled because look at this great army. Read.
And much distressed, for that he had no time to gather them together.
He had no time to prep them up in the speech, rev their spirit up, put confidence back in them. Let's do this, come on! He had no time for that, bro. Let him finish this, but you bring that out.
Verse 8, nevertheless, unto them that remain, he said, let us arise and go up against our enemies.
Let us arise and go up against our enemies, man. 800 men against hundreds of thousands of men. Let us arise and go up against our enemy, man. Let us arise and go up against our men. Can read?
If peradventure,
ooh, this is getting me hyped.
We may be able to fight with them.
Peradventure, we may be able to fight with them, man. Let us rise and go up against them, man. The Most High delivered us out of crazy battles, man. Where we came out victorious on the end, man. Let us keep our faith in the Lord. Remain courageous to go up against our enemies, to defend our religion, to defend our culture, our women, our way of life, to defend our land, our honor. Let's go.
Verse 9. But they dehoted him, saying, we shall never be able. Let us now rather save our lives, and hereafter we will return with our brethren.
Because what they were saying is, damn, listen, we only got 800 men. We ain't going to be able to take these guys, man. Let us flee and gather the troops back up and then return and take these guys on. But hold on real quick.
That goes back to the law. I got a precept on that.
Hold that real quick. Bring that out, bro.
Yeah, this is Deuteronomy.
This is getting battle. You visualize what I'm saying, the battle, right? Your brothers can visualize this in your head, right? The host of the battle, you can visualize it. Again, bro.
It's Deuteronomy 20 and verse 8. It says, and the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brother's heart faint, as well as his heart.
And that's why he understood. Judas Maccabee understood, because as these guys left him, he wasn't mad at them. He left them saying, because it was another example when other men fled and they received the same spoils that the victors received. You know what I'm saying? When they came back, they didn't get turned out. You left, you ain't getting nothing. No, they got pieced off too. You know what I mean? Because that's going back to the law. Yeah. So he understood that. So he was like, yo, let us go back. So you had another one of his members like, let us go back and try to gather our troops together so we can come back and fight against these guys. But it was no turning back, man. The armies of the Greeks was coming at them wholeheartedly, ready to destroy them. So what he said? What he said? Show you the heart of a man, a true warrior, the heart of a true warrior, man. The courageousness of a true warrior. Yeah, bro, we.
And hereafter we will return with our brethren and fight against them, for we are but few. Verse 10. Then Judas.
This is the point right here.
Said, Yahweh forbid that I should do this thing.
Yahweh forbid that I should go and flee from, that should do this thing, man. I'm not going to flee. I'm staying on my ground, man. Read.
And flee away from them. If our time be come, let us die manfully.
If it's my time, if it's in my time of dying, let us die manfully. Let us die manfully for the word of the Most High. Let us die manfully for our children, our women, our culture, our honor. Let us die manfully. I don't want to be known that I fled from my armies, man. I don't want to stain my honor. We're going to stand here. We're going to fight, even unto death. Read.
let us die manfully for our brethren.
That's a manful thing, man, to die with your brethren in battle, bro. To defend your honor, your culture, your land, your women, your children. That's to die manfully for the word of the Most High. That's an honorable death, bro. She got me kind of hyped now, man. Read.
Come, let us die manfully for our brethren, and let us not stain our honor.
We're not going to stay in our armor and run from these crackers, man. They ain't, even though we low and few, we 800 men, they got thousands, hundreds of thousands. Hey, we're going to go into battle. The Most High, we're going to take as many men with us. If it's our time, we're going to take many with us, man. Read.
Come, you want to come to verse 11?
Yeah. Go down to the sword of the battle. Yeah.
Okay. Come, verse 11. With that, the host of Bacchites removed out of their tents and stood over against them, their horsemen being divided into two troops, and their slingers and archers going before the host.
Meaning they surrounded Judas Maccabee and his men. Well, they was in the front and in the back. They said they were surrounded in the middle, but guess what? They didn't try to escape, man, and flee like cowards. They stood there and fought like men, even unto death, man.
And they that marched in the forward were all mighty men.
And they were almighty men, man. Read.
Verse 12. As for Bacchites, he was in...
That was the general of the Greek army, man. Read.
As for Bacchites, he was in the right wing. So the host drew near on the two parts and sounded their trumpets.
They blew the horn of battle. Woo! All the men got ready to start charging, battle axes, weapons of war, killing each other, fighting each other, stabbing each other, cutting each other limbs off, cutting heads off, doing their thing, man. Real battle. Not this bitch-ass battle that you got drones killing people, you know what I'm saying? Women and children.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Con, verse 13. They also of Judas's side, even they sounded their trumpets also.
And they went to battle. Clash of different sides, man. The Israelites against the Greeks, man. Israelites and guess what? The Most High, hey, there's a time for everything, man. It was Judas Maccabee's time, man. You did your thing. You was set on this earth to do this particular thing. And now it's time for you to come back to the spirit realm. But you did your thing, man. You delivered Israel. The Most High rose up the Hasmonean dynasty to deliver Israel from the hands and the clutches of the Greeks, man. Of the Hellenization of the Greeks, man. But that goes deep, man, because during that time, and that's how the Hellenization of the Israelites came about. And you go to the book of Acts, and it talks about the Israelite foreigners, man, speaking Greek. Where that come from? We going into the battle now. We going into the time period now. Is when that happened, man. When they was Hellenized, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's history. You got to understand the history, and I say you got to understand the mystery and the history. You understand? You got to understand the history, and then you understand the mystery of the Gentiles, man.
Yeah.
You know how that came about, man. Because we read about it right now. Because Judas Maccabee was fighting because he was against Hellenization of his people, going against his own culture and his nationality and who he was, man. I'm not gonna be converted to some other kind of strange form in God and worship that shit. Hell no.
Yeah.
But many other Israelites consider to that right there, man.
Yeah.
And that's how they became Hellenized, and that's how the Gentiles and the start of Paul's journeys, man. And the apostles, man, in the book of Acts. Real quick, yeah, bro.
Yeah, men don't die for things they don't.
What happened, bro?
That was Rome. That wasn't in Greece.
I'm talking about Rome. It's like in Rome, yeah, but it started, but they were speaking Greek, right?
Yes, the Greek was around.
Yeah, but they were speaking Greek, but that was Rome. Paul's journey was in Rome, Slakia, bro. But the Hellenization of the Israelites started through the Greeks, man.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying that men, do not die for things they doubt. That's why the Lord said to strive for the truth
That's
unto
a
death.
death, man. That's right. And that's why a lot of men going to save themselves. They're not going to die for this truth because they don't wholeheartedly believe. But let them finish this out, but you bring the points out there. I'm going to turn it over to you, brothers, man. Yeah, bro.
Con, so that the earth shook at the noise of the armies.
Meaning it was a hard battle. Whoa, everybody, the earth shook, meaning shit was a hard battle, man, from each side, man. Judas Maccabees men doing their thing. The Greek army doing their thing. You know? They was called the Syrian army then, but it was really Edomites, man. That was the control of that region. Read.
Khan, and the battle continued from morning till night.
I mean, that was a sore battle. And you see how long it took? Hey, check it out. 800 men against hundreds of thousands. They're getting wiped out. But the Spirit of the Most High was upon Judas Maccabee and his men. For they were mighty men, and they was doing their thing. And it took almost a whole day to take them out, man. That's how strong Judas Maccabees and his men were, man.
In the spirit.
In the spirit.
In the spirit.
Because the Most High had them in that spirit, man. And the Most High
It had nothing to do with the flesh. It was all the spirit.
exactly. And the Most High preserved them until the time that he took them out. Read, bro.
Khan, verse 14. Now when Judas perceived that Bacchites and the strength of his army were on the right side, he took with him all the hardy men. Verse 15. Who discomfited the right wing and pursued them onto the Mount Azotus.
See, Judas Maccabee perceived this, right? So he took the men that were strong and started putting to flight a certain group of men that was in front of him, not knowing that, right? Read.
Khan, verse 16. But when they of the left wing saw that they of the right wing were discomfited, they followed upon Judas and those that were with him hard at the heels from behind.
See, as Judas Maccabee was putting to flight the men that was in front of him, when the left wing saw it, of the Greek army saw that they was getting put to flight, they followed behind them because they were surrounded. And they, came upon them and, things went ugly from there. Yeah, bro.
Khan, verse 17. Whereupon there was a sore battle, insomuch as many were slain on both parts. Verse 18.
Many were slain. So you mean to tell me 800 men, when they get slaughtered in this day and age, hundreds of thousands of men, you see the battle belongs to the Most High, man. The Spirit was on the men, and they were mighty men, and that's why I took all day, almost a whole day, to put down 800 men. Show you the Spirit of the battle belongs to the Most High. The Spirit of the Most High was upon the men to defend. The Most High had them go almost a whole day in the battle before they succumbed to, to the army. Because why? It was the time it was in the time of the Greeks to rule, man.
Yeah, but let me say too, and prophecy had to be fulfilled because the Greek Empire later extended into the Roman Empire.
The Greco-Roman Empire, exactly, Khan. Which was still Edomites. Yeah, bro.
Khan, verse 18. Judas also was killed, and the remnant fled.
And once they saw that Judas Maccabees was killed, the rest that survived the battle, you see, showed you that the Most High was with them because 800 men, the rest that was with Judas Maccabee had to be a few hundred that fled, or probably a few 50 or something, whatever. It don't show you, it don't say who, it said the rest fled. So after 800 against hundreds of thousands, they fled, man. As when they see Judas Maccabee get slain, man. So, hey, man, showing you, man, that the battle belonged to the Most High, man. I just brought that scripture out to show you that the battle belonged to the Most High, man. So Esau could come with his thousands of troops. If the Most High could have one, you got something?
Real quick for you.
Yeah, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not power, and their horses flesh and not spirit.
That's right, man, because, hey, it show you that they are men, and the Most High controls the battle, man. So be not afraid of these armies, man, and their military might. Even though Esau was given the blessing of the sword through our forefather Isaac, which is Yahweh Shah. But guess what? He's coming back to take that blessing from him and do him real dirty, real vicious like. There ain't gonna be no coming back from this ass whooping Esau. Yeah, bro.
When the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together.
All these armies, they collaborate with each other, the UN, whether the NATO, all these nations coming together and bringing their military might together You know, that's like a mighty big host there, man. No one wanted to tangle with NATO and deal with NATO because at the behest of NATO is America. Because who formed NATO? America. You know, after World War II. So at the behest of America, so America is there, and NATO was like it's like their army. You know, like, we on top, and we got our armies, and that was formed to deal with the Russians. The Russians had the same military might the Americans had, so they had to form a conglomerate of nations to get together to if anything happened, we could subdue these people, man. You know, so that's what, and that was called the Treaty of Rome, and having these and forming NATO, man. You know, and that happened in I think in the 50s, like 56, 57, am I mistaken, 55, within that range. I gotta look it up, but you got anything else?
Treaty of Rome.
Yeah, the Treaty of Rome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, man, I'm gonna turn over to you.
I just wanted to say one thing.
You
Now, I just wanted to say one thing quick. You see, like how the more it's all through the spirit, man. That after Judas died, then the Most High allowed those Israelite men, to flee. Why? To tell the story, man. So we got the records to this day, man, of how Judas encouraged them through the spirit to fight those hundreds of thousands of heathens. Because if them men had never fled, what would happen, man? The Greeks would have slaughtered them, and we would never know the story. You know what I mean? So that's how the Most High deals through the spirit, man.
Yeah, I got a precept.
Yeah, brother. Me too. I'm just, sometimes you just gotta hold your spirit, though.
We have a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, 34 verse 12. I was often times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. Verse 13, the spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them.
Yeah, and the son of Sirach, his name was Yahweh Shai. All right, he was a wise man and he feared the Lord. All right, and that's what he wrote throughout all his proverbs, man. You know, he exhorted the fear of the Lord. Okay, and he had a testimony. All right, he was in danger. You know, you had people they wanted to kill him. You know, and the Lord delivered him. Just like the Lord is going to deliver us in these times, man. All right, whether your lot is to be put to death or whether your lot is to make it all the way until you see Yahweh shall return, man. Whatever your lot is, if you're part of the elect, you're gonna be a part of the first fruits of the kingdom, man. And you're gonna be delivered. Okay? Just fear the Lord. You know, have faith in the Most High, man. It all goes back to faith. All right? And I had a precept because the brother had mentioned that the Lord had allowed these those men at that time of Judas Maccabees when he was battling against the Greeks. All right, the men that was allowed to escape because the scriptures say this. This is Romans 15:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." You know, so these different accounts and histories that's found in the scriptures, all right, it was written for our learning. Why? Because it explains it right here. It says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures, all right, because the scriptures is the comfort, man. All right, we read these stories and it boosts our faith. All right, so when all hell break loose and the time of calamity and the days of calamity approach America, all right, and approach the world, all right, these precepts, that's why the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. These precepts is gonna be in our mind, man. All right, we're gonna have the mark of exemption, man. This knowledge, all right, and precepts gonna come to our mind, man. All right, when famine come, man, we're gonna think about what happened during the time of Moses, man. The Most High fed the Israelites in the wilderness. All right, we're gonna think about Daniel and the lions den. All right, we read Judas Maccabees.
Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon and the 300 mighty men. All right, many other accounts. Huh?
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
I did that account for you too.
Yeah.
Samson.
Y'all brothers got it.
You could bring
Sirach.
He got something for you, bro.
Sirach 2 verse what?
Verse 10.
Verse 10, yeah. Sirach 2, verse 10. Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord Yahushua and was confounded?
Not one Israelite man that trusted in the Lord was confounded, man. All right, you ain't gonna find that in the scriptures, man. Every Israelite man that trusted in the Lord, all right, the Lord was with him. All right, and the Lord delivered that man in whatever tribulation that he had to deal with, man. All right, we just gave some examples, man. The brother just mentioned Elijah, the prophet Elijah, man, during the time of Ahab, you know, and his demon wife Jezebel. All right, Elijah was delivered, man, and he was transfigured up into the chariot, man. Okay, you know, there's many accounts in history, man. You know, the Lord is with his men. All right, he's gonna be with his men up into the very end, man. All right, to the time where, you know, the thermonuclear destruction. You know, there's more.
No, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's
No,
more.
there's more.
Go down more.
No, keep reading.
Verse 11.
No, read 10 again.
We tell you, Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that call upon him?
Yeah, who did the Most High ever despise that called upon him in sincerity and in truth? No, not one of his men. All right, when you read the book of Joshua, all right, the scriptures tell you that Joshua, the Lord was with Joshua, man. All right, the Lord delivered Joshua. All right, and he used Joshua to get Israel into the land of Canaan, man, and to take over that land and drive out majority of them Hamites, man. Okay, and there's many other accounts, man. All right, you read about Susanna, man. Susanna, you know, she had integrity, man. All right, she went and lie down with those men that wanted to rape her. You know, they wanted to have sex with her, man. All right, but she had integrity, man. And guess what? The prophet Daniel, he exposed those guys, man. Them guys was put to death. All right, what about during the time of Esther, man? You had Haman. He had a plot to exterminate the Israelites, man. All right, but the Lord had it to where he got put to death, man. Yeah, he got put to death. Okay.
The song with the three holy children.
Yeah.
The furnace.
Yeah. That's going into the book of Daniel. All right, when they refused to worship the image that Nebuchadnezzar set up, man. All right, they was thrown into the furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the Lord had it to where he sent Yahushua down, man. Yahushua was with them in the fire, man, and they didn't burn up. You know?
That's right. And I have an account to give the elect an example of how the Lord always delivered his ancients that are back here today in the reincarnation in their lives. This is 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. And this is an account of our forefather Elijah. It says, "And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As Yahweh power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word." So there was pretty much going to be a famine in the land. "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there." So the Lord Yahweh, through Son Yahushai, had commanded ravens to feed our forefather Elijah at the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And that's an example of the Lord Yahweh, through Son Yahushai, providing for his men in the times of trouble, in the days of famine, when there's no food and when there's no water. It says, "So he went and did it according unto the word of the Lord Yahweh, For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. And so the Lord Yahweh, through Son Yahushai, provided food and water for our forefather Elijah. And likewise, will the Heavenly Father Yahweh, through Son Yahushai, provide food and raiment and protection for his elect in these times, in this last generation. That's why, as brother read earlier in the book of Sirach, chapter 34, verse 12 on down, I was oftentimes in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. The spirit of those that fear the Heavenly Father Yahweh through Son Yahushai shall live. Why is that? Because the fear of the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his Son Yahushai is a man's treasure. Okay, and the Lord said what? To lay up your treasures in heaven, where moth nor dust doth not corrupt. Okay, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and also the beginning of wisdom, which will keep us stable during the evil times to come. Okay, so this is just an example of the Lord providing for his, our forefathers, which are back here today in the reincarnation, which we are our forefathers.
Quick precept. This is 2 Kings 6 and 17. It says, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes. And open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountains was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
And what was that talking about? That was talking about the chariots, the so-called UFOs. Okay, because Elijah was about to get beamed up into...
No, that's Elisha.
Elisha, right.
Yeah.
And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua opened up his eyes, the water, bro, to see the chariots, so-called UFOs, as they may call it today. Okay? That's why the scripture says, they that are with us are greater than them that are against us.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
Yep. And this is going into the account of the king of Assyria. The king of Syria, when he came up against let me see. It says when he warred against Israel, man. All right. So it says, hold up. It says verse 18. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite the people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that was the point, man. All right. Yeah.
This goes to show us even more that the Lord has always dealt with our forefathers, our righteous forefathers, which are back here today, which we are our forefathers in the reincarnation. You see? So we have nothing to worry about during these times ahead. As long as we have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we do the things that the Lord wants us to do, then we'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah, I got it. You got something? This is Matthew 16 and 18. It says, and I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. All right. So yeah, the gates of hell shall not prevail against the will of the Lord, man. All right. The gates represents leadership, man, and the leadership, these elites, man. All right. These elites of this society, man. All right. The so-called Illuminati, man. All right. The heads of the tribe of Esau, man. Amalek. The so-called Jews, the Rothschilds, all right? The gates of hell shall not prevail against it, man.
Right.
All right, Peter, which was King David, he's the head underneath Yahweh Shai, man. All right? And the elect, man, all right? The elect is not going to be overcome, man, by the wicked, man. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel and these heathen, man. Okay? Come on.
This is Psalm chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Khan, so that's Israel, man. The elect of Israel, man. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakakodash, man. We are abiding in this truth, man. You know what I mean? We are separated from this world by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Khan.
It says, I will say of the Lord Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust.
Khan, so like all the prophets of aforetime, man, they seek to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for succor, man, for protection, for refuge, man, in the times of lamentation, mourning, and woe, man. And what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai protected them, watched over them even unto the death, man. And even so, some of them had to be put to death. Why? For a martyr, to be a martyr, an example of what enduring unto death means, man, for us in these last days and times.
Verse 3, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Cancel Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to deliver us from all the mourning, the lamentation, the destruction to come, man. Whether it be Mashallah, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, famine, pestilence, and ultimately that thermonuclear destruction, man. Right. The Lord is going to deliver us from that, man.
Right. Verse 4, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
So this is a metaphor, man, symbology, man. So the Lord is going to protect us, man. Like how a hen protects her young man. The Lord is going to protect His children, man. The Lord is going to watch over His children, man. Just like He did in aforetime, same way He going to do in these end times.
Right. Now it says He shall cover thee with His feathers. Now the feathers represents the chariots, the so-called UFOs. And under His wings, meaning the so-called UFOs, shalt thou trust. His truth, which is this gospel, this knowledge that has been taught to us by the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and down to men of like mind, shall be thy shield and buckler. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
So we're not going to be afraid of the nuclear destruction, man. We're not going to be afraid of the martial art troops when they come running in and Jake in these last days and times, man. Why? Because the scripture says the Lord is our shield and buckler, man. This truth, man. The faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that's our ultimate protection, man. That's the ultimate cheat code, man, in the history of mankind, man. Calling on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Right, because this truth is likened unto an armory. You know, that you gird your whole body up spiritually with. You know, it says, right. It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
So the Lord will protect us from the pestilence, man, the coronavirus, all these mad diseases, man, martial law, famine, and what He's gonna protect us from that nuclear destruction, man, that nuclear wind, man. That nuclear destruction, man, the Lord is gonna protect us from it, man. And we just have to be faithful even unto death, man.
It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
So it's gonna be like when you watch them zombie apocalypse movies, man. When you see one man and then it's just like a wasteland, bodies upon bodies, man. That's how the remnant, the elect is gonna be, man. It's gonna be wasted, man. Out there is gonna be like a wasteland, man. But guess what? The elect is gonna be protected, man. 1,000 on each side, man. Bodies upon bodies, but the elect, man, is gonna be reserved.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
So we're gonna see the reward of the wicked, man. The judgment upon judgment, man. You're gonna see people starving to death, man. People eating their own children, man. People killing each other, brother and sister, mother and father killing each other, man. We're gonna see the reward of the wicked, man. The martial art troops running in on Jake, man. Wasting them, man. So we're gonna see all these things, man. We're gonna see terrors upon terrors. Like me and this brother here always talk about, man. This brother Daniel, man. We always talk about how we pray and things don't go down, man.
Every Friday.
Every Friday we link up and we talk about, yo, this might happen, the tanks running in the hood. You know what I mean? Jake eating each other. Mad thing gonna go down in these last days and times, man.
That's right. It says, because thou hast made Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is my refuge, even the Most High Yahweh, thy habitation.
So we have made Yahweh Hashem our protection, man, our refuge, man, our succor, man, in the times of desolation, man. To come, man, we have made him our refuge, man. We have made him our salvation, man. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, because the scripture says that the name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. And a strong tower is basically a habitation, a place that you dwell, which is this truth. Last few verses, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
So ain't no evil, no bad times will come upon us, man. You know what I mean? Lord's willing, man. In those last days and times when Jake catching hell, man, hey, Lord's willing, apparatus are we gonna be good, man. We gonna be safe, man. And no evil is gonna come upon us, man. Apparatus.
Yeah. It says, for he shall give his angel charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways.
So like the book of Psalms say, man, the angels are camped around them that fear Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, man. So same way in the last days and times, man, they're gonna be like them apocalypse movies, but guess what? The elect is gonna be guided by Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, same way. Yeah, so we just have to keep the faith and don't even unto death, man. Because we in those times, man. We in those times of the end.
So you know, we're gonna wrap this thing up, and you know, Lord willing, you sincere listeners out there was edified, and the water for the Akim on the comment board. All right. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right. Until next time, Shalom and a Baba Ball.
Shalom, Baba Ball.
Kum Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.